what's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the Transformers Cam Golden Disc Collection Mutant Tigatron. So this is the third of 4 packs, of course. The last one I need is Transformers Cam Golden Disc Collection Pterosaur. I'm really looking forward to that figure. I actually do have it pre-ordered, so I probably will be getting that figure very soon. But here is the packaging of Mutant Tigatron. I think it looks really cool with, of course, a fragment of the Golden Disc. So, of course, if you get all 4 packs, you can connect all the boxes to, of course, complete the full artwork of the Golden Disc. I actually will bring out the other 2 boxes in just a second, just to show you the progress on the artwork so far. So, of course, on the front we have Golden Disc Collection, Mutant Tigatron, we have Transformers Kingdom War for Cybertron Trilogy, we have Transformers on the side, and on the side, of course, he has a Voyager class. And on the back, he transforms into 22 steps. Of course, this figure is exactly like the original Kingdom Tigatron mold from Wave 4, I believe, except, of course, there's a brand new mutant head sculpt. Of course, the entire color scheme is completely different with more of an orange and white mixture rather than a blue and white mixture on the original Tigatron figure. So overall, very cool packaging. I'm just going to go get those other 2 boxes off from the side, and I will show you the almost completed artwork of the Golden Disc Collection pack. So here is the progress I have so far on, of course, the incomplete artwork. All I need now is the Pterosaur packaging, which would go right here. But as you can see, we have the Puffer and Road Ranger, we have the Jackpot and Sights, and of course the top corner here is Mutant Tigatron. So unfortunately, there is kind of some size problems with the artwork, because as you can see here, there's just kind of this empty space, because this box, of course, this pack came with 2 figures, and these other ones came with only 1 figure. So there is some size problems with the artwork. There will be some kind of leftover areas in the corners there, but not a big deal in my opinion. Still a very cool piece of artwork. Really looking forward to getting Pterosaur. Let's head into the review right now. I have Mutant Tigatron. I think he looks very cool. Let's take a look at the details. We're going to start at the very top. So for the shoulder section, nice turquoise blue. Also on the face, which the face does look very cool. A nice new mutant head sculpt. I think that looks really cool. Nice gold for the eyes. Lots of really nice angles. Some diamond shapes around there. Some nice spikes for the teeth. Some more spikes on the top for the ears, you could say. Also, there's these big shoulder pieces here. If you go back here, there's some nice texturing. Of course, some nice black stripes patterning there. And of course, these are the animal legs, the same way they are stored on Tigatron from Wave 4, so nothing unexpected there. For the chest, of course, we have the really nice animal face, more texturing of fur, nice ears there done in orange, some nice white for the fur as well. You can have the mouth open or closed if you want more of a dynamic pose or something like that. You can have it open or closed if you want more calm and neutral. I typically do have it open. I do like the eyes, nice gold and black around them. We have some whiskers there, the nose, that looks pretty good. The arms mostly done in orange with some blue at the hinge of the elbow joints there. Nicely sculpted hands. The crotch mostly done in blue or turquoise with an outline of orange there. For the legs, pretty simple. Some nice white padding on the front. And of course, the main body or the main sculpt of the leg is done in orange with some more patterning on the side as well and some more texturing as well. A little bit of fur texturing, some rough there. And some spikes on the front. And also these are the back animal legs for the tiger mode. So I think they're pretty well hidden, but overall, very cool. The feet are pretty simple, just done in orange with some more spikes, and of course we have the heel spurs, and that's pretty much it for the details. So overall, very nice. I'm just going to straighten him up a little bit. Let's get into the accessories. So he comes with 2 accessories, the exact same ones that came with Kingdom Tigatron from Wave 4. So first up, we have the gut gun, which is a very good accessory. I really do wish this came with Kingdom Cheetor. That's a shame it didn't, but I'm really glad this was included with Tigatron and this Tigatron here. So you have the nice guts there. Some like mechanical wiring detailing, of course, the barrel, and you can separate this. I still do not know why you can do this. My guess is it's for stop motion purposes, so you can show him reloading it, something like that. I don't know, maybe photography or something, I'm not sure, but still a pretty cool feature. And of course, you can have him hold it in either hand or either arm, and that's really it for storage wise for the robot mode for the gun. But overall, then that looks really cool. So very nice. So we can blast the enemies. So of course, by story of Amazon, on the Amazon site, because there's actually a whole backstory to this character. By story, he is actually evil when he is a mutant, but he does become good in the end. So that's actually kind of cool. You can choose if he wants to be evil or good. You can mess around with it if you want to do a story or stop motion like that. So that's really cool playability factor there. So the next accessory is this really cool tail piece. Not my favorite accessory, kind of weak in my opinion, kind of seems like a throwaway accessory almost. I kind of wish they did this like they did Ravage. So if you watch my PulseCon Ravage review, or if you have the figure, you know that his tail is permanently stored on the back of the figure. You can't remove it. It's not an accessory. I kind of wish they did that with this figure and the original Tigatron, because this piece is kind of lame in my opinion. You can't hinge it or anything, and that's kind of sad for the whip factor and the tail, because you can't do dynamic poses in the Tiger mode or in this mode if you want to do a really cool whip pose. So that is kind of a shame in my opinion that the tail whip piece is not that good. That's why I typically do not have it in his hand. Usually I just kind of put it off to the side and kind of try and hide it, because it's not a very good piece in my opinion. But it's an accessory. Some people might like it, some people don't. Who knows? Let me know what you think of this accessory in the comments below. I was expecting, of course, for this to be included, because it's the exact same sculpt and accessory that came with Kingdom Tigatron. But overall, two pretty good accessories. So I'm going to take the whip off to the side, because not my favorite, and it kind of covers up some of Tigatron, so I'm going to move that off to the side. Now let's get into some comparisons. So here he is with the original Kingdom Wave 4 Tigatron. So as you can see, they're the exact same figure. The only difference is the head sculpt, but I think that's just enough, because these both head sculpts are really, really good. I really do like that nice shine on the blue for Tigatron, like that crest, and this blue here that they use for the Mutant head sculpt looks really cool. I also really do like that nice gold for the eyes. Very menacing and beating, very shiny. It really pops. I think it looks really, really good. Also the nice teeth detailing, that looks really, really cool. So yeah, very, very nice. And of course, same accessories, the gut gun, same whip pieces that I don't like. Of course, animal-wise, he is more, I would say, of a jungle tiger, and of course, Tigatron is more of an Arctic tiger that you would see, you know, North Pole, Antarctica, something like that. So different climate tiger animal modes, so pretty cool. And of course, the stripes are slightly different. He has more light colors, he has more of an orange color, so as you can see overall, pretty similar in design and sculpt, but there's some few hidden little secrets here and there that are different. So very, very nice. Taking him off to the side, let's get another comparison with PulseCon Ravage. Which is, I really do like how they did the tail with this, because it's not an accessory and you can just leave it on there and you can have some cool dynamic poses. There's a hinge, so you can move it whenever you want. You know, you can do that in the robot mode and in the animal mode, so that's kind of nice. I kind of wish they did that with this. Yes, they were trying to go screen accurate with the Beast show, because in the Beast Wars show, you never saw Tigatron's tail just kind of sticking out randomly. He also never used it as a whip, so I do understand they were trying to have it more sleek and clean, not just have a tail kind of poking out of nowhere randomly. I understand that. But two very good figures, highly recommend. Of course, they're both exclusive, so I just wish you good luck in getting them. Moving on to the last comparison, here he is with Kingdom Cheetor. Unfortunately, probably my least favorite of this kind of mold collection. You know, there's Shadow Panther, there's this one, there's also going to be another repaint, a Walmart exclusive, I kind of forgot the name, but definitely my least favorite one, because there's breakage problems, it just doesn't work. I really, really do wish, every time I look at these figures, I really do wish they had gotten Cheetor and made it in this mold right here. I do understand in the show, by size accuracy, Tigatron was bigger than Cheetor too. Cheetor was a pretty small bod, so I do understand that, but honestly, I would much rather have an inaccurate size figure and have a really, really good mold for Cheetor, because this is my only Cheetor, and he's not a very good one, so I do hope maybe in Legacy they'll make another one, or maybe the next trilogy they'll make another one, because this one, it doesn't work for me, unfortunately. So that's pretty much it for comparisons. So I'm just going to take his gut gun and move it off to the side. We're going to get into some articulation. For articulation, it's the exact same as Tigatron, but we're still going to go through it quite quickly. So starting at the top, the head can rotate all the way around. It can hinge a little bit down and up. For the arms, it can hinge that far up, that far down. Unfortunately, of course, there's this shoulder piece here, so you can move only that far up. that far down, so it is slightly limited because of that piece, because you can only move it a slight degree just because it's, that's how it was constructed. The arm can swivel, there is a double jointed elbow, the hand can swivel all the way around as well. The waist articulation is a little bit different because you cannot do a full 360, you can only move side to side, so you can move it that far to the side, and then you have to move it that way to the side, so you cannot do a full 360 spin, which is slightly different for most Voyagers and Deluxes, so a little bit of a limitation there, but I wouldn't say it's the biggest thing. So now moving on to the rest, the legs can kick that far forward, and there is a knee bend and an ankle pivot to a pretty good degree. So yes, very, very nice. So kicking back, you can actually, of course, move these out of the way, and you can get this panel here and disconnect that, so if that does help articulation, you can move that out of the way. And also there is a swivel as well, and it can do the full splits. So pretty good articulation, exactly the same as Kingdom Tigatron from Wave 3. I'm just going to straighten him up a little bit. And then let's get into transformation. Getting into transformation is the exact same thing as Kingdom Tigatron from Wave 4, so very simple, straightforward. Let's get right into it. So first up, we're just going to move the arms up out of the way, and you're going to get these panels here. So unfortunately, these panels do have the same problem as Kingdom Tigatron from Wave 4. They do not want to tab in at all. They do stay, just there is a minor gap there, which is kind of unfortunate. There actually is a tab and a slot there. They just do not tab into place, which is unfortunate. Kind of wish they fixed that, but not the biggest problem by any means. So just move these out just like that. And here's the part where it's kind of fiddly, so I do apologize if it's a little bit fiddly and movie for a little bit. You're just going to fold up the arm, and you're going to want to make sure to just move this back here like that. And there is a slot and a tab on this piece. You can just collapse that into place. Sometimes it won't want to tab in, so you just kind of, fill it in there and it will stay soon. But there we go. So just move this down, hinge it like that, rotate it to the side, and again there is that tab and slots. There we go. So there is these pieces all complete. So there we go. Now we can move to the chest. So we're just going to disconnect that section here. So there is a tab and a slot right there. Then you can open this section up, you can fold the head in, collapse that up just like that, and then that will just connect right there. And then just make sure the waist is straight, because then you're going to connect these two halves. So just bring these forward. As you can see, there's a lot of tabs and slots connecting both halves. And I did have the same problem with the original Kingdom Tigatron, so if you do get this one or the original, if you transform it a few times and it doesn't connect, just transform it a few more times and the joints will get a little bit loose, the tabs will get a little bit looser, and it will be able to fully connect and nice and clean just like this. Because when I first got this, there was a few gaps here and there, and after a while, of course, it is nice and flush, just like it should be. So now just hinge the legs out, just like that. Of course, at a pose you desire. Anything, a running pose, a simple neutral pose, anything you want. So now going to the legs, you can just flip the heel spurs in, just like that. And then you're going to want to push this piece in, which will push this section out. So just push that in, and as you can see, that just folds out. And then you're just going to put the foot in, like that. As you can see, of course, this step does carry a lot from, of course, the original Tigatron and Cheetor as well, because the feet usually do just stick back there. So the legs are quite similar to Shadow Panther and Cheetor, but the rest is completely different. So now, the last step, you can just get the tail piece, and you can just pop that in there, just like that. And there is Mutant Tigatron in his Tiger mode, looking very, very cool. Let's get some comparisons, and we'll take a look at the details. We have Mutant Tigatron in his Tiger mode. I think he looks really cool. Let's take a look at the details. So starting at the very front, the nice tiger head looks pretty cool. The nice mouth, some white for the teeth, and of course some orange for the rest of the mouth there. We have some pink for the nose, some whiskers that are done in black, some nice white and fur texturing detailing all over it. The eyes are done in some nice kind of yellowish gold with some black. The ears, of course, done in orange, and some more of the black stripes going all down the figure's back. and sides, and more of that nice rough fur texturing all over it, which looks really, really good. I do like how they've done the front legs. They've kind of put in some like bone detailing. You can see they're very slender, but also kind of buff at the top of the legs. That looks pretty good. The back legs, there's also some texturing in there, so you could see there's fur and there's like bones in there, so they did really, really good on that realistic part of the animal. That looks really, really cool. So overall, a very, very nice tiger mode. Not a lot of details to show because, of course, past the head, all the details really just kind of repeat. Of course, there is some little bit of white sticking out, but that is really just from the robot modes, so not, I would say, a key detail of the tiger modes, but still a very, very cool looking tiger. So overall, very, very nice. Let's get in one quick comparison. So here he is with the original Tigatron from Wave 4. Looking very, very cool next to each other. As you can see, the exact same thing, just, that head sculpt from the robot mode, but you can't even see that. So here, they're the exact same tiger, just a completely different new color scheme. This is white and black with a little bit of darker, kind of creamy white there, and this is really just orange and some white and a little bit of gold for the eyes, and that's pretty much it. They're very, very similar figures, but two very, very cool figures. So, very, very nice. Tiger-wise, I think I probably like this color scheme a little bit more, but in robot mode, I honestly might have to choose Mutant Tigatron because its mutant head sculpt looks so, so cool. So storage-wise, these two figures do have that problem with the gut gun. They don't store the gut gun very well. So, of course, the other accessory is just the tail, and you can just, put it where the tail belongs. So that's fine. The gut gun, that is where it falls short, so really the only way you can store it is just on, well, the guts. It does make sense because it is called the gut gun, so you're going to plug it in where the belly is or the gut is, but it doesn't look very good. I kind of wish maybe there was like a port on top or maybe on the side of the leg, maybe the front or the back, because there is quite a bit of space where they could put in one of those ports, maybe there or something like that. I know ports are kind of ugly just to put on like the legs because these are part of the robot mode legs, so that would be visible in the robot mode. I am aware of that, so honestly, probably best case scenario, they should have put it up here, because this is the back of the robot mode for both these figures, of course. So, yeah, storage-wise, that does kind of fall short on the gut gun. Yes, it does make sense to put on the gut, because it is the gut gun, so I guess I'll give them some credit for that, but appearance-wise, I don't think it looks the greatest. It looks kind of weird. So typically, whenever I have it in the tiger mode, I don't have the gut gun on. But just wanted to show you what it looks like. They're just stored on the gut themselves, of course, just like that. And I guess it looks so-so. But two pretty cool looking tigers. Overall, very, very nice. I'm going to take Tigatron off to the side, and we're going to get into some articulation. So I'm just going to take the gun off. I'm also going to take the tail off. You don't have to, of course. I'm just going to take it off just so you can see it better, just for your viewing pleasure. We're going to start at the back. So keep in mind, these are actually the robot mode legs. So there's a lot of articulation packed into here. So there is, of course, a swivel. There is a hinge. There's another hinge here. And there is another hinge here as well. So lots of articulation. There's also another hinge at the paw right here. So lots of really good articulation. Also, there is this panel here, so this is, of course, where the tail is, so if you want the tail higher up or a little bit lower down to the ground, you can do that. So now for the articulation for the front, so of course the mouth can open and close. That's pretty much it. I do kind of wish maybe there was a ball joint at the head, kind of like Ravage, because his robot mode head is his animal mode head, so I really would have liked maybe a ball joint there, but of course I was expecting to not have one because this is just a repaint. For the front legs, there is a ball joint, so it can rotate all the way around, out, in. There is also another hinge here, and there is another hinge here, and the paw itself, there is a ball joint. So, pretty good articulation for the tiger mode. Exactly the same articulation as Kingdom Tigatron Wave 4. So overall, a pretty cool looking tiger. Let's get into some final thoughts. So getting into the final thoughts for Transformers Kingdom Golden Disc Collection Mutant Tigatron, I think overall this figure is pretty good. Of course, I knew what to expect because I had the original Kingdom Wave 4 Tigatron, so nothing much was crazy or unexpected. Of course, he does include a brand new Mutant head sculpt, which is a really, really cool aspect. I think they've done an amazing job. I loved it with Shadow Panther, and I really, really do like it here. That nice turquoise blue on the face, some nice gold for the eyes, and a lot of really cool angles, lots of sharp points for the teeth and the ears. That looks really good. Very, very, very alien in nature and very, very menacing. Robot mode is really good. Of course, again, I know what to expect. The rest of the sculpt is exactly the same. The accessories are pretty good. I like the gut gun. You can store it in the hand. I think it looks pretty good. The tail, that's where it falls short. I, of course, went through that in the review. I wish you could have stored it kind of like with the Ravage, where it was just stuck on the back like Ravage, where it was not an accessory. You could not remove it, and there was a hinge, so you could do some more dynamic poses. I know that is not screen accurate to the show, but I think I would have preferred it with this figure. I would make that exception. Articulation is good, of course, with the waist. That is an exception. You can only move it back and forth. It is not a full 360 spin, but the rest of the articulation is perfectly fine, and the exact same as the figure before this. Transformation is pretty simple, just a little bit of just a little fiddly around these sections at the front where the robot mode arms are, or where the belly of the Tiger mode is. So a little fiddly, but pretty simple. And be aware, if you get this figure or Tigatron from Wave 4, yes, it might not tab together the first time you transform it. That's what I had a problem with this one and the other one. Just transform it a few times, and after a while, you'll be able to have a nice, clean, cohesive look on the bottom. So just transform it a few times, and you'll be fine. Tiger mode, I think, looks really good. Love all the fur texture and detailing. The stripes of the like nice black stripes overall looks pretty good. Love the tiger face. I think they did a really good job with the realistic tiger look. My only complaint is storage and articulation. So articulation with the tail is kind of disappointing because there is really none. You can move this panel, but I wouldn't count that as tail articulation because that is a separate piece. I would really like a hinge and the tail piece itself, but there is none. And also storage for the gut gun is not very good. You really just kind of slap it on the bottom. Yes, it does make sense by name because it is called a gut gun, so you can store it where the gut is or the belly is. That does make sense. Appearance-wise, it does not look very good in my opinion. So that's been my thoughts on Mutant Tigatron overall. Pretty good figure. Highly recommend to get it. Of course, this is an Amazon exclusive, so if you're kind of iffy on it, I would buy it. I would just, look at it a few times, and if you don't like it, you could easily just return it to Amazon. They easily do returns, or Hasbro, so you could easily just send it back or sell it loose. Probably a lot of people want this figure open or not, so highly recommend to get it. It's a pretty good figure in my opinion. Maybe it might top the original Tigatron. There's a few aspects that I really do like the Mutant head sculpt. It might actually surpass the original. Who knows? It's actually hard to pick. So again, let me know which one you like, Mutant Tigatron or the original Tigatron himself. I think this is a really good figure. Hope you enjoyed this review, and I'll see you next time.